Good morning to all. Now we are going to learn about carbon and its components. Introduction. Carbon is the one of the most important non-metallic element. Anthony Lavoisier named carbon from the Latin word carbo, meaning coal. Because carbon is the main constitution of coal, the Earth's crust contains only 0.032% of carbon in the form of minerals like carbonates, coal and petroleum, and the atmosphere has only 0.03% of carbon dioxide. Carbon chemistry is also called as living chemistry. What is carbon? Carbon is a chemical element with a simple C and atomic number 6. It is a non-metallic and a tetravalent, making 4 electrons available to form covalent chemical bonds. It belongs to group 14 of the periodic table. Carbon makes up only about 0.025% of Earth's crust. Discovery of carbon milestones. In 1772, French scientist Antoine Lavoisier pooled resources with the other chemists to buy a diamond which they placed in a closed glass jar. They focused the sun rays on the diamond with a remarkable giant magnifying glass and saw the diamond burn and disappear. Lavoisier noted that the jar was unchanged and that when it burned, the diamond has combined with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. He concluded that diamond and charcoal were made of the same element carbon. Components of carbon classification. Carbon is found both in free state as well as combined state in nature. In the prehistoric period, accident used to manufacture charcoal by burning organic materials. They used to obtain carbon components both from living things as well as non-living matter, organic carbon components and inorganic carbon components. Organic carbon components. There are the million of organic carbon components available in nature and also synthesized manually. Organic carbon components contain carbon connected with other elements like hydrogen, oxygen. Example, ethanol, cellulose, starch. Inorganic components of carbon. These are the components containing carbon but obtained from non-living matter as compared to organic components. The number of inorganic carbon components are limited. Among them, oxides, carbonates, carbides, and biocarbonates are the major classes of inorganic carbon components. Example: calcium carbonate, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. Inorganic components: carbon monoxide formation, not a natural component of air, mainly added to atmosphere due to incomplete combustion of fuels. Properties: colorless, odorless, highly toxic, sparingly soluble in water. Uses: main components of water gas reducing agent. Calcium carbide, prepared by heating calcium oxide and coke. Grease black solid, to manufacture graphite and hydrogen, to prepare accidentally gas for fielding. Calcium disulfide, directly prepared from carbon and sulfur. Colorless, inflammable, highly poisonous gas. Solvent for sulfur, to manufacture rayon, fungicide, insecticide. Special feature of carbon. The number of carbon components known at present is more than 5 million. Many newer carbon components are being isolated or prepared every day. Even though the abundance of carbon is less, number of carbon components alone is more than the number of components of all the elements taken together. Catenation. Catenation is binding of element is it to itself or with the other elements through covalent bonds to form open chain or closed chain components. Carbon is the most common element which undergoes catenation and forms long chain components. So, organic chemistry extensively deals with the catenated carbon components. Example: branched chain, linear chain, ring chain. Tetravalency. Another vestige nature of carbon is a tetravalency. It has a four elements. It has a four electrons. It is our outermost orbit. According to actual rule, carbon requires four electrons to attain nearest noble gas electronic configurations. So, carbon has the tendency to share its four electrons with the other atoms to complete its octet. This is called a tetravalency. Example, multiple bonds. A multiple bond is a chemical bond where two or more electrons pair as shared between two atoms. Example, hydrocarbon. Isomerism, the existence of molecules that have the same number of the same kind of atoms but differ in chemical and physical properties. Allotropy. Allotropy is a property by which an element can exist in more than one form that are physically different and chemically similar. The different forms of the element are called as its allotropes. Carbon, crystalline, diamond, graphite, fluorine, amorphous, charcoal, coke, lamp black, cast carbon. Difference between diamond and graphite. Diamond, each carbon has 4 covalent bonds. Graphite, each carbon has a 3 covalent bonds. Have hard, heavy and transparent, soft, slippery to touch and abuse. It has a tetrahedral units like in a 3 dimension. It has a planar layer of hexagon units. It is a non-conductor of heat and electricity. It is a conductor of heat and electricity. Physical properties of carbon and its components. Carbon is a non-metal found in a various allotropic forms from a soft powder to hard solid. All the allotropic forms of carbon are solid whereas its component exist in a solid, liquid and gaseous state. Amorphous of forms of carbon and graphite are almost black in a color and of hue. Diamond is the transparent and shiny. Chemical properties of carbon. Element carbon undergoes no reaction at room temperature and limited number of reaction at elevated temperature, but its components undergo large number of reaction even at a room temperature. Carbon components in everyday life. It is impossible to think of our daily life without carbon components. Over time, a large number of carbon components have been developed for the improvement of our lifestyle and comfort. They include carbon-based fuels, carbon non-materials, plastic, carbon filters and carbon steel. Plastic coordinated long chain carbon components. Plastic are major class of coordinated organic carbon components. They are made from long chain organic components called polymerizing with the chemical additives that give them different properties. Different kinds of polymer are used to make different types of plastics. Plastics are everywhere. They are convenient, cheap and are used in our everyday life. Drawbacks of plastic. Plastics take a very long time to fully break down in a nature. The microbes that break down plastic are too few in a nature to deal with the quantity of plastic we produce. One time you use and throw away plastic end up littering and polluting the environment. Harmful effect of plastic. Plastic in our everyday life can be harmful for two persons. The first person is that some type of plastic contain chemicals that are harmful to our health. The second person is that a lot of plastics are designed to be used just for one time. This is this use and throwaway plastic causes pollution to our environment. Practice in your daily life. Do not litter the environment by throwing plastic items. Do not use the thermocol for your school project. Do not ban plastic since they releases toxic gases that are harmful to our health and contribute to climate change. Do not eat hot or spicy food items in a plastic containers. Okay students, thank you.